The Kikuyu, also the Agikuyu, are a Bantu ethnic group native to central Kenya. They account for 17.13% of the total population of Kenya, making them Kenya's largest ethnic group. The term Gikuyu is the Swahili form of the word Gikuyu. Gikuyu is derived from the word Mukuyu, which means sycamore fig tree. Hence, Agikuyu refers to children of the big sycamore. The alternative name, Nyubea Mobi, which encompasses Embu, Kikuyu, and Meru, translates to House of Potter or House of Creator. The Kikuyu belong to the northeastern Bantu branch. Their language is most closely related to that of the Embu and Bere. There are three theories or hypotheses that try to explain the origin of the Agikuyu. They are: legend has it that at the top of Mount Kirinyaga, generally called Mount Kenya, this is where Ngai, or God, showed the first man, Kikuyu, the land below and instructed him to go to a specific spot to the south of the mountain where there was a grove of fig trees, or Mekuyu. He was also told that he could make contact with Ngai at any time by praying to him while facing Mount Kirinyaga, or by sacrificing a goat under the Mogumo tree. Kikuyu descended the mountain and on arrival at the place found a woman called Mombi. It is believed that Mukure wa Nyagathanga was where Gikuyu and Mombi first settled. Gikuyu and Mombi will become husband and wife. According to the folklore, Gikuyu and Mombi brought forth the 10 daughters who became the mothers of the 10 Gikuyu clans. The daughters were Wanjiro, Wamboi, Njeri, Wanjiko, Nyambura, Wairimo, Waithera, Wagare, Wagoi, and Wairigia. When it was time for 9 out of 10 daughters of Kikuyu and Mombi to get married, they approached their mother Mombi and asked her where she had secured her husband, their father, from. Mombi then presented the problems to their father, who then consulted God. As he returned to Mombi with instruction from Ngai, he had been asked to present a sacrifice of spotless ram, also known as Ngoima, to Ngai under the Mogumo tree. Gikuyu then called the 9 daughters and asked them to assemble beneath the Mokoyo tree and to then cut a straight rod of her own height from the tree itself. The girls then brought back their rods to Gikuyu, who then placed them on top of a sacrificial fire as Ndara. The sacrifice was then placed on top. Even though it appears that actual sacrifice was done under the Mogumo trees, the Ndara were picked from the Mokuyu tree. The sacrifice bore results, and the following morning 9 men appeared in the Mogumo trees as sent by Ngai. Each daughter then picked a man of her own height according to the Ndara. What is a bit confusing is at the point the story refers to only 9 young men, which is what leads us to believe that last daughter, Wamoyo, never got married, though she is known to have had children and descendants. The second hypothesis is the biblical theory. Most biblical scholars believe through gene mapping and so forth that Gikuyu originated in Egypt from a group of slaves in Egypt who fled the Pharaoh to the south, as another, the Hebrew, led by Moses, fled to the north. The third and the last one is the scientific hypothesis. The Agikuyu are a Bantu ethnic group. The Bantu expansion is a hypothesis about the history of a major series of migration of the original Proto-Bantu speaking group, which spread from an original nucleus around Central Africa across of Sub-Saharan Africa. The expansion is believed to have taken place in at least 2 waves between about 3,000 and 2,000 years ago, approximately 1000 BC to 1 AD. Linguistic analysis suggests that the expansion proceeded in 2 directions. A group of Akikuyu certainly came from the south of the Taita region and related more to the Kamba, Chaga, and Taita. Other bands that included the Meru, Embu, Mbere migrated from the north in Ethiopia. This will account to the various quite distinct facial characteristics among the Gikuyu. From archaeological evidence, their arrival at the northern side of Mount Kenya dates around the 3rd century as part of the larger group known as the Agishu. By the 6th century, there was a community of the Agikuyu newly established at Gatwanganga in Nyeri. The Agikuyu established themselves in their current homeland of Mount Kenya by 13th century. Note about the Bantu expansion, but the primary evidence for this expansion is linguistic. A great many of the languages which are spoken across sub-equatorial Africa are remarkably similar to each other, suggesting the common cultural origin of their original speaker. However, attempts to trace the exact root of the expansion to correlate it with archaeological evidence and genetic evidence have not been conclusive. Thus, although the expansion is widely accepted to have taken place, many aspects of it remain in doubt or highly contested. Continuing studies in linguistic and modern method of medicine like gene mapping may someday shed more light on the origin and complicated gene of the Gikuyu.